Hey, what's up, you guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're gonna be doing something a little different. We're gonna be reviewing the Flash Season 6 trailer that just dropped today. And yeah, let's get right into it.
I saw billions of possible futures. Billions of deaths.
We've got to stop you from vanishing.
So what do we do first?
Welcome to a world where anything can and probably will happen.
We can still change the future.
Welcome to Earth 1.
Oh, great. Another angry one.
I have to prepare the team for this crisis.
The Flash, Tuesday, October 8th. Stream free next day only on the CW app.
Alright, so the first thing we see is obviously Barry being tied into Jay Garrick's helmet with spark plugs attached to it. And I can only assume that means that this is the part where he sees everything, the billions of possible futures and the billions of outcomes and all of that. We also see a quick nod to season 1 in this one, and it's where they first saw the newspaper back in season 1, so it's really interesting to see them put this in the trailer. Hopefully we'll get some sort of flashback to this and maybe see different aspects of the scene in new ways. I don't know how they do that. It looks like we saw everything, but I don't know. Maybe they go back in there later on, and like a scene that we never saw before that we're seeing now, in a flashback form. So it's really cool to see that, regardless of how far they read into it or not. It's really cool to see. We then see a bunch of people screaming and running, which obviously means that the villain of this episode is probably like there causing some sort of havoc or problem. But if it's that bad, then I'm really curious to see what is happening, because it looks like it's major. And to my surprise, actually, we see Jay Garrick with Nora out of shot, who is giving Barry Jay Garrick's helmet. I was really surprised to see Jay in this episode. I didn't think he'd be here, but I guess it makes sense since Nora is also here. So now that we gathered that together, we can only assume that Barry sees the crisis newspaper. He's like, what do? I need guidance. And he probably goes to Earth 3 to talk to Jay and maybe get some guidance and some help. And then he runs into Nora as well, which will be very interesting to see, because regardless of whether we're seeing Barry with his original mom or Earth 2 or 3, it's always interesting, or the Speed Force even, and it's always interesting to just see Barry interact with his mom in whatever way. I feel like it's always just such a good scene when they are together. And then we see Caitlin typing something on a keyboard, and then Frost, I only can assume that Frost takes over and freezes the keyboard, which is interesting to see, because I'm not going to read into it too much right now, because obviously we have no context whatsoever of what's happening, but it's kind of strange to see that happening. I wonder if something pops up on the screen that, I don't know, maybe Frost doesn't like, and she's like, screw this, I'm gonna freeze the computer. I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see what's happening here, because I have no idea what's happening here. If you do, let me know in the comments, but I don't got no clue. So let's move on. Jumping to the next interesting scene, we see Caitlin in CC Jitters, and she looks at the jars and the cups and stuff, and the building seems like it's shaking and all of that. So I wonder if this is when the whole havoc outside starts, and then I don't know, maybe Caitlin sees all that and she runs and changes into her suit and immediately goes out there as Killer Frost to fight in the action. And we jump to this guy who is what I can only assume is live streaming, because you can see live comments in the corner, but I can only assume that this guy's, he's talking about everything can potentially happen in this world. So I wonder if he's one of those. I'm curious to see how he ties into this episode in some way, whether it's big or small. It would be interesting to kind of just see other people's reaction to what's happening in the world. So it would be really cool. And then we obviously get our first official look at Nora in this trailer. I know we saw one beforehand in the last short 10-second trailer, but we get our first official look in this trailer at Nora, and it's a new shot. So She definitely looks like she's not from Earth 1, so of course you could also bring this in as potential evidence that this is Earth 3 Nora interacting with Barry when he goes to see Jay. And then we jump to Frost trying to stab Barry with an icicle, which I know some extra people are going to be like, oh my gosh, she turning evil again. Doubtful. It's not happening. Her development has been extremely great. I don't think they downgrade her, first of all, to her season 3 development, because she and Caitlin have developed so much over season 4 and season 5. I don't think if they would be dumb to do that. But obviously, more than likely what's happening here, I don't know, unless they're fighting over strawberry jelly, they're probably training and preparing themselves for Crisis, because, you know, obviously they're going to want to be prepared for whatever happens. Like, Barry's supposed to die, so obviously he and the team, and especially the people he fights in the field with, are going to want to train and be ready for whatever happens during Crisis. So this is more than likely a training scene. And then we see Cisco greeting the brand new Wells for this season. I don't remember his name, if they ever released his name, but I do remember him being described as sensual and possibly Indiana Jones-like. I don't 100% remember all that, but he does look like an Indiana Jones type of character, and I'm really interested to see how they tie him into this season and how they tie him into Crisis as well. It would also be really interesting to see how this new Wells interacts with Barry, Cisco, Caitlin, and the rest of the team. Another notable scene is when we see Caitlin. I can assume this is flash time. I'm not 100% sure because Barry's running behind her, but she is actually screaming and reaching for something, and that makes me nervous because hi, biggest Caitlin fan around. And I'm really nervous to see what this scene's about, because I hate when anything bad happens to Caitlin, because Caitlin is literally the best character on the show. Her and Frost are my favorite by far, so I hate when anything bad happens to them. So, and they've both already suffered like crazy a lot, so like, let's not make them suffer anymore. And, you know, the synopsis speaks against anything good happening to them, because it already says that Killer Frost is going to brush with death, which, not happy about. But when do the Flash writers ever let Caitlin and Frost just be themselves and just, like, chill? No, they always have to be dying, or somebody else they love has to be dying. They can't be just chill and happy and hanging out with their family and friends and stuff. Somebody's got to die, or they have to die, or they have to get hurt. It's how it works, and I don't like it. But it'll be interesting to see how Frost and Caitlin's dynamic changes because of this brush with death that they said in the synopsis. So I am looking forward to seeing how their dynamic changes in response to this brush with death type thing. Now we see Joe having his hand covering his mouth, so obviously he's very shocked or like just jaw dropped of what's happening in this scene. So like this makes me even more curious to what we're looking at here. Like, what the heck is a building flying? Like, I don't know, but it would be really cool if they, like, I don't know, gave us a sneak peek of what the heck's happening. Or are we just gonna have to wait till October 8th? Who knows? But I'm still very curious nonetheless to see what the villain of the week is making everybody freak out about. We then cut to Barry looking at somebody in the pipeline, so I wonder if they finally catch the villain of the week, or I don't know, maybe this is somebody working with the villain, but either way they caught somebody, so it'd be interesting to see what's going to be happening in the scene. Maybe like a pep talk, because this is a family-friendly show, and that's usually what they do, don't they? Pep talk, you're a good person, yay, we're gonna let you go now, just be a good person. No, I'm kidding, but because they're supposed to be getting a little bit more darker this season. But yeah, maybe this is like the villain or something. Okay, interesting. The pipeline actually, one of the prisons actually busts open and breaks. So does that mean like maybe the meta breaks out? Maybe he or she is more powerful than the dampeners? because we've never actually seen a metahuman break out of the pipeline before, besides Barry when he got like a straight out of the Speed Force type rush. So to be able to actually see another metahuman besides him breaking out of the prison that's supposed to keep dark matter metahumans in is going to be really interesting. And it's really interesting to see how the team reacts to that, because though it seems insignificant, I mean, this is where we keep all our metahumans. Like, is it really safe? Or what do we need to do to fix this? Because clearly people are able to break out, so it'll be interesting to see what kind of they do about it, if anything at all. We then see Barry get like flung across the room, which no one's shocked. This happens to him like every other episode, but yeah, I'm curious to see who knocked him against the wall. Yeah, so interesting. We're so interested. And then we see the particle accelerator explode again, which we do see that often, but it's always really cool to see the particle accelerator explode, whether it's flashbacks or what, just seeing new scenes of people getting affected by it, or if this is present time and it's exploding for its third time. Either way, it's really cool to see scenes like this. I always find them very interesting, even when they did it with the second particle accelerator exploded, and then they do flashbacks again in season 5 about it, in episode 8, and then with the Thinker in season 4. It's all such cool stuff to see, even if it's like a flashback or present or whatever it is. I hope you guys did enjoy this reaction video. It's my first time ever doing one, but I really just wanted to make a quick video talking about the new trailer. I'm really excited for this season. I really want to start trying to do reaction videos and reactions to the trailers and stuff like that in the future. I think this one is like my rough start to it, but hopefully it gets better and better every single time. I will definitely plan it out more next time, and I still hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you were new. Thank you so much for watching, and goodbye!